Anyway, okay, then let's start off with the Daily Statesman newspaper for today. Government Valco Commission 17 ultra-modern schools. Also, African vaccine project in full gear as Ghana, Rwanda, Senegal partner biotech to produce COVID-19, TB, malaria vaccines. Political judges comment lands MP before legal counsel. I think Francis Sosu is in trouble. And also, NSS implements employment policy for personnel. This thing, it's been long coming. Yes. I mean, employment policy, it should have been implemented long time ago. I don't know why they are now implementing, but anyway, better late than never.
One out of the many things that should have. Jay has a principle, yet to. Government is going to. About to.
Coming soon.
The story about Francis Xavier is, I mean, apart from the fact that he's a politician, I kind of like it because his growth to where he's gotten to is very motivating from where he started to being a lawyer. But I see that each time he tries to fire back at the judiciary, sort of, or the Ghana Bar Association, he doesn't address himself as a lawyer anymore. He seems to address himself as a politician. I just would have thought that you're not a politician for the rest of your life, and that your career that you have really invested and taking time to be in, you don't overlook it by using certain words to that, I'd say, industry, for lack of a better word, that you came from or that you're in. Because he's a lawyer too.
He is.
But the way he's dishing out words and, you know, I don't know. What is driving him? But
well, it looks like there's something about politics that when you go in there, you know, you need to be fearless. You need to say certain things as it is. But like you're saying, if you are a lawyer, you need to be very cautious of the things that comes out of your mouth. But he's working and he wants to maybe be very popular. But the man is working. You should be. Have you gone to Medina recently?
I use there every day home.
Goodness.
He's impressively working.
He's working.
Except that he's a lawyer before a politician. You know, the choice of words, I mean, using words like useless and all of that is I mean, I fear. But
well, for me, Medina, I think that the traffic situation at that crossroads has the Zongo Junction area there. It's now way better. You know, you see traffic, but it moves quicker, and the human traffic as well. Now people are really doing well by using the overhead, you know, and at least we're getting somewhere.
You have to go the extra mile to put some barricades there.
To prevent people from crossing.
You know, there was a point that they were caning the people.
Yes.
I mean, that was a bit extreme. But
was it?
Oh yes.
But to put some discipline back into
people. That's actually my campaign message when I'm going to become president. The cane. Remember I mentioned about it.
Oh really?
The cane works. It works. Because for a certain generation of Ghanaians, we faced the cane and it put us into shape. You know, those who were in the 70s, was born in the 70s, 80s, then and a bit of the 90s.
Right.
2000, there was video game that we're used to.
So the cane should come back.
If you're not doing something where your mom or dad will go like, hey, go and play video game.
Or take my phone.
Yes, take my phone.
Anyway, so that's it for the Daily Statesman newspaper.
Okay, I'll pick up on the Daily Graphic this morning. So, set up database on state landed properties. Committee advises sector ministry. Mr. Francis Asenso Boche is the minister in charge of works and houses, and has set up a committee to inquire into what they can do to improve the sector. And here are some of the recommendations. It's on page 3 of the Daily Graphic this morning. We await copy of ruling to determine next action. UTAG has been reacting after the court actually ordered them to go back to classroom. As of yesterday, though the court had ordered, there was no show on campuses. And here's the formal comments from them that they're waiting for the copy of a ruling. It's not enough that the judge read it out to them. They want a copy of it. These are teachers.
Well, they'll still get a copy whether they like it or not. So, of course. I mean, once it's been ruled, it's been ruled. If you're waiting for copy, you will get the copy. Whether today, tomorrow, you get the copy.
Oh, they will.
I mean, the sooner you start, the better, though.
Jay, would you ever want to go back to school? Ever?
Yes. It's a conversation in the pipeline. Yes.
Is this answer for the cameras or?
Well, we are.
Of course, we are in front of cameras.
We are before the cameras.
Okay. I guess there's not much happening, but here's an update on the climate change policies that we're trying to adopt into the country. Let's add value to hydrocarbons for mutual benefits. When the president visited Guyana, this was some of the things that he said. There's this principle that the highest polluter actually should pay more, where the big countries are ready to pay and also help the weaker countries to be able to fight climate change. I mean, but the president, I like my president for one thing. He speaks without fear and favor. When he goes to the bigger country, he tells them straight, you are the biggest and the largest polluters, and so do not come at us because we contribute just a very minute number to climate. I mean, all the toxins and things that we produce are not enough to want to say put the blame on Africa. But I like the way he dishes it out to people. But as to whether in the back it happens on paper,
we are in front of the cameras.
You see, there's a problem with sitting in front of the cameras.
Well, yes, you become more objective with your conversations and your statements. Well, anyway, let's move also. Are you done with the daily graphic?
Absolutely, except there's an anniversary. The Asante Hima is marking his fifth anniversary. Her fifth anniversary. That's an update on that. That's it.
Well, Ghana-Nigeria playoffs getting closer by the day, and back page story on the Daily Guide newspaper. Jan plays safe in Ghana-Nigeria playoffs. His predictions, he says, well, it can actually go for both teams. He can't really tell because of both teams actually exited the what you call the AFCON 21. Yes, and that's why he said he's played safe. By saying that once both teams came out, then the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria is beautiful. It's not violent, but it's just enviable. No two countries in the world have got this relationship that Ghana and Nigeria have. We are brothers and sisters, and then we are brothers and sisters.
And we are two wives.
Yes, we are two wives, I know. Yes, so that's the back page story. Front page here, E-Levy will retain MPP, Ben Efson says in a conversation with Francis Aban on Star FM. The full story is here. You can find it on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper, and shares a roadmap with the benefits of E-Levy to the MPP, which NDC it's become a nightmare to the NDC. That's how he describes it here. If you read the full story, let's jump on to Abronye now. Granted 100,000 Ghana cedi bail as well. Finest pub and restaurant comments government, and deputy speakers can vote. You can also read that story here in the Daily Guide newspaper. Yes.
Right. Let's go on to the Chronicle newspaper. But actually, I'm interested in the E-Levy will retain the NPP, says the Ben Efson. I'm very interested in that particular information.
Just a quick run through what he says here, just to confirm word for word. It says he says the MP had earlier warned that the International Monetary Fund IMF could ask government to cancel free SHS. That is, if government went to IMF for a bailout with regards to whatever we are going through. And so the E-Levy becomes an alternative, for us able to keep afloat. So if we don't go for the E-Levy, some of these things will be staring at us in the face, going to seek more loans, which will mean ruthless conditions, which when it comes to IMF, when you're securing money. So it's better for us to charge our E-Levy and be able to comfort ourselves in Ghana than to seek support elsewhere.
How do you comfort yourself when people are going to struggle?
Well, he gave options with regards to the various charges on the various networks already with their transactions. So he says that if you're having a challenge with one, you can always port to another one in doing those transactions. Now, because the E-Levy is a very sensitive conversation, it is very difficult to even make objective suggestions to it, because there are 30 million opinions to E-Levy. So if you say you want to look at the bad side of E-Levy, there are 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't take E-Levy. If you want to look at the good side, there are 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't take
E-Levy. You should take E-Levy.
You should take E-Levy.
But the thing is, Ghanaians are just saying that we don't have good systems in place for accountability. That's the problem.
Yeah, so because they want to take E-Levy to put the system in place.
No, but how? Do you get me?
Oh, yeah,
who is going to account? Who is telling us how much? And are they even going to disclose the right amount to us?
Yeah.
So if they should make...
I'm not holding briefs for them, but you see, we all can be that, like, like that. So the finance minister the last time in secondary said, you can ask for accountability. We're going to be giving exact accountability of how the monies have been collected and what so far will be used for. You see, do words mean anything to you, Ro? Do words ever? How do you believe when somebody says I do at the aisle, and yet your minister says that you can, and you don't want to believe it? How did we arrive there?
Well, I mean, you know, this
it's a different conversation altogether, because you see, the issue is that Ghanaians know that whatever monies come in, they are never accounted to. Whatever loans they go for, they tell us that they are fixing this, they are fixing that, they are fixing this, and they still don't see anything. Where are the loans? Okay, we are doing free SHS. You started free SHS. Now you're telling us that we are going into debt because of free SHS. What plans did you put in place before you started free SHS?
E-levy.
So if you're starting e-levy, how much are you going to be making off the people? How much are the people benefiting from the e-levy?
6.9 million from e-levy.
Okay, so for me, the electronic payment system is a type of payment system. It's a format, or it's a way you can.
Don't do that.
No, I'm coming. I'm making a point. It's a way that you can transact business. Now, there'll be other future transactional methods coming. I'm very sure. Maybe others will come. Others will be generated. I mean, remember when we started, when the likes of the Express Pays and now, you know, all those ones started coming up. You could buy credits off online. All these payment systems came up. Multiple ones have come up afterwards. Now, definitely, when it comes to governments, and it's not even about only MPP, I'm very sure in the future, when all these ones come up, they'll definitely have taxes on them, because they are services that are being rendered. So taxes will come. So e-levy is just the tip of the iceberg of what will come in the future. But the issue here is that for me, like I say, I keep saying, I may not be, my voice can be heard, added on to the thousands who might speak against e-levy, but it may not deter government from implementing it.
That's the thing.
Like when VAT came. So the best I have to do now is to be able either find other means and ways. If it will be difficult for me, then I cannot. If I can't pay you via mobile money because the charges might not work for me, then I need to adopt the old way that I used to transact my business. Then I can have my peace of mind.
But you see, the thing is not just about mobile money. Even with our banking system, even with our communication system, we are being taxed.
Yeah, because I mean, if I owe MFR, let's say 2,000 cedis, and I have to pay here, and I know that in paying 2,000, it might mean that I have to send more than 2,000. Then and I can't control the taxes that are the conversation on taxes that are going in this country. Then I'll just tell MFR that, listen, point blank, you know what? If I send you 2,000 and it'll cost me more. Two things. Are you willing to take the deductions on there? Or if not, let me just deposit it into your account. If not, then find me and let me give it to you.
You're going to pay fuel to go to the bank.
No. That was how we were living. We will not put
even with the fuel prices,
our life was like that before e-levy.
You know, yesterday I went to buy fuel and it was 7.4. This morning I woke up, and it was yesterday night. I bought it around 7 p.m. This morning I woke up, it was 7.6 something. I'm like, what?
You shouldn't have slept. You should have stayed up.
No, I actually didn't know it was actually going to go up.
I know, right?
Why are you doing this? Barely like what, a month or 2 months ago, there was a whole issue with the fuel prices. They dropped it a little bit. I sat here and I said, once they've dropped it, we are going to see more increments. And guess what? In the space of 2 months, the increment is mind blowing.
I'm also well versed in that space with oil. I mean, with fuel conversation, but that is if you can help me. But I've heard that there are a lot of taxes on fuel prices globally keep fluctuating.
Absolutely.
That you can't control.
Yeah.
Yes. But I hear there are a lot of taxes on the ones that we pay that can be scrapped off to help ease the burden.
Yes.
Well, I think every government is always in the business of making money. You know.
So there's too much smuggling of fuel already. Government loses out on this. Why is it like? It's like I've been paid to be some.
Please, can I put a badge on there that says that government spokesperson? But it's good we understand it. So I mean, if there's knowledge in there, it really helps.
You see, apart from the fact that people sleep on their jobs, and apart from the fact that it's easy to want to take from where you didn't incur a lot of cost. I mean, politicians, government officials, or public officials like to, take more than they can take. The whole fuel system where smuggling and people make money backdoor,
it's hurting us, right?
It is the consequences you can't even imagine. You can't even imagine. So even up to the very regular fuel that
I think Mustafa Hamid had mentioned that before.
Yeah, you're not supposed to even charge as a gas at home. Gas, LPG is something you shouldn't even task at all. I mean, some time ago, they had some year plan that they wanted more people to switch to using LPG because the more people use it, the more you're able to make some money. But now that you've put taxes on it, people are going to look for the other mechanism, like, the charcoal and all of that, which means that you're not going to be making the money. But the indirect way where the leakages, money leakages, is how governments, they know, but how can they do it? They just have to put the monies on the ones that,
how can they do it? That's why they are in position. They are supposed to do it.
That's the thing. I understand the demand for action and accountability.
Yes. I always also say that, like, we as citizens are also to be blamed for a lot of the things that happen to us. Like, it's terrible that, and when we raised the conversations about fuel the last time, I mean, I really wanted to read extensively about how I can't control the rising price of fuel. I can't control it.
I mean, the government.
But what can I do to myself to make sure that my vehicle is in tip-top shape to be able to save fuel? Because sometimes as well, you have run your car for 6 months, you haven't changed your oil, which is supposed to be changed in 3 months. No, it's true. You see a lot of cars with the number of the fumes that are coming from their engines. You are burning more gas and stuff. Like, I keep saying that I'll always find alternatives to try and cushion myself when in the face of all these adversities. Because, look, I can't do anything about it. If they pass e-levy in their charging and I have to send money and I can't pay you, I can't pay with the charges. I have to find another way of. I'll ask you to come to my house for it.
It's called God Bless Our Homeland.
We have to.
Ghana. Yeah.
We have to. We need to.
It looks like the people.
So let me ask you
right now, the people feel that they can talk, but nothing's going to come out of it.
I see what you mean.
So we just have to watch out.
I want to ask you a question. Is it a matter of we don't see where the taxes go at all, or the fact that you don't see enough of it?
I have a perfect answer to that question. There is no government in this country that will be able to make a drastic developmental change in the country in 4 or 8 years. It is absolutely impossible because when you come into power, there's burden from the past party.
Yeah.
There's burden from the past party.
Yeah.
Like, it runs back to PNDC, I'm sure, or probably Kwame Nkrumah, where bonds that were taken haven't still been finished paying. So there's no way you can finish and make a drastic change and see high-rise buildings, first-class roads, beautiful trees, no matter because the mineral concessions have been sold to foreign parties like years back. So when you come in, you probably just have some 1% of the total, revenues that's coming in to deal with. And even the 1%, you already have a loan you are paying somewhere that is
So then
healthy.
How is it that we have politicians who come into the system, and
become rich overnight? Yes, so...
How? Because if we are owing so much, if there's no money in the system, today you saw the politician begging you for votes, and he was probably sitting on Okada.
Yes,
the next thing is,
and then corruption, and then corruption now also comes in. So
because when you
that money could have been put into the system,
you get a higher payment.
No, I mean not that kind of payment with a kind of lifestyle.
It's got to do with deal. I mean, corruption is heavy. Corruption is heavy in a lot of governments. I mean, you can't run away from it.
But let's agree
so
that
if your life can change overnight, you should be able to change the country overnight as well.
Yeah, because you win the vote overnight.
So your life is changing overnight.
Yeah,
so why can't you change the economy? Why can't you change the country?
But
I think what a government can do in 8 years or 4 years is to change the mindset of the people.
Is it possible?
It is very possible. And that is why you see leadership like, let's say, the IGP stepped in and there was a sudden wake up to discipline, and conversation. The mindset of the people will start affecting the way they live. It's very important that once you change the people and the way they think, it could affect lifestyle. And lifestyle in the long term, then government now can also come in with the infrastructure bill. But infrastructure takes time. Look, they are building interchanges. I'm not even holding brief for it. Let's be realistic here. How long will it take you to finish these interchanges? It will take you like 2 years or a year plus.
But if you pay contractors early, you can do it in 6 months.
I mean, China has. No, you're right. China has in recent times proven that you can do some of these things, but consider the economic challenges that we are in. Look, I complained about lifestyle when I was probably like 12, when it was when Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings was there. I complained. I heard my parents complain. When President Kufuor came on, I complained. I heard them complain. When President Mills came on, we complained. When President John Dramani came on, Mahama came on, we complained. Ekufodas, come on, we complain. Do you know the next person? Do you know you complain again?
Yeah.
The complaints will go on and on
all
and
the
on
time.
and on.
Yeah,
I feel that
but I think
I read something of
some
A+'s page,
better though.
which I think I agreed with him.
Some are better.
I agreed with A+ on something. He might be the most controversial, person out there, but I read a certain extract on this page and it said there has to be a national agenda,
yes.
a Ghanaian agenda, devoid of party politics and party your developmental plans. If it means that in the next 20 years, Ghana needs a railway system, when you come in or not, whether you like it, so that we see how much of the railway system you did when it was your turn. Then we can use that to decide if we want you to continue or not. There has to be a national agenda. I don't see national agendas in Ghana.
There is. I've forgotten the name of our document. There is, except
a document.
People don't care. Yeah.
Document, exactly. It's a document. So
anyway.
Talking about the IGP, should we continue with the newspapers? Because I'm actually enjoying the conversation.
3.6 million people are going to face hunger or are facing hunger
in Ghana.
In Ghana, yes.
Oh, but this number is not true.
It's a 2020 comprehensive food security and vulnerability analysis was done with the World Food Program and the Ghana Statistical Service. You're hungry, right? Man, I'm hungry this morning. I know, right? I know. I'm also very hungry.
Anyway, so yeah, are you going to read that first?
So that's the main story in the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper as well. And the same stories here. Abronye granted 100,000 Ghana cedi bail.
I like that guy. Yesterday, his counsels told him that he's been granted bail. Yeah. And they told him that, don't say, no comments. Don't say anything. When you come out, media ask you anything, just say that my lawyers say I can't say anything.
They told him that?
Yes. He stepped out of the courtroom, says, I'm sorry, I can't say anything. However, in the course of the week, I'll be putting out the details of what I wanted to say earlier. That guy is a character.
It's just something else. Let's go to the Chronicle newspaper for today. Mahama applauds e-levy brawl in Parliament, says it was a fight for democracy. I know this is going to raise a lot of...
It was. So has it been passed? Or?
No, I mean, I said it is going to raise a lot because he's saying that he's actually applauding the brawl. And people were upset about the brawl, because people were like, we didn't put you there to go and have a fight. We put you there to put systems in place. But he's actually applauding his men for standing firm for the fight. He said it was a fight for democracy.
But it was in the NDC manifesto to charge taxes on electronic transactions.
It wasn't exactly as this one. We find it wasn't exactly as this one, but we're not far from what is happening now.
Well, someone will say his percentage was lower. Anyway, Sputnik deal report, minority plot evil against health minister. That's what they're saying. Menchia Palace celebrates Asantehima in grand style. And also Jinapot drops 20,000 Ghana cedis in Apiase support fund bowl.
That's nice. Okay, so I'll wrap with this new newspaper that I haven't come across yet, the Vanguard. So here, you should go to the center spread and get to know, is crying good for your skin?
Really?
Yeah, I know. So just a little bit of that. Crying is essential for eye health. It's a natural biological process that helps express and process pain and emotions. And no matter how frequently you shed tears, you might be wondering if crying is a good thing for your skin too. It turns out practicing certain habits both during and after crying can make a difference in how your skin reacts. Go grab the Vanguard and get to the center.
Let's get crying.
Don't wait for broken hearts before you cry. Just